As most of you know, Valemount Affordable Rental Society, also known as VARS, is a relatively young organization as we approach our 3rd year anniversary. We're also a small organization with a relatively small general membership, and our volunteer board is made up of only 4 of us. We have Corey Marshall and Katerina Tinsley, Kimberly Hood, and Kim unfortunately couldn't be here today. She is working full-time at the elementary school now, so thank you, Kim, for doing that. And then myself. But we haven't let our size or our newness slow us down. We've worked hard in the past few years to make our dreams become realities, and we've had incredible support from so many, including community members, volunteers, our consultants, our contractors, and of course BC Housing, CMHC, Columbia Basin Trust, the Regional District of Fraser Fort George, and the Village of Valemount. Thank you. We're excited to officially break ground today to launch the construction of our 2nd and biggest project, a brand new $4.27 million 13-unit affordable housing project situated next door to our existing housing. And this project will allow families and seniors to have access to affordable housing in our amazing, beautiful community. Once again, thank you all for your support. Thank you for being here, and enjoy the ceremony.
I stop and I look now, and we're just seeing the beginning of the buildings, but I envision the joy and happiness when people will be able to find a unit of affordable housing, and everyone deserves to have a roof over their head. And so for me, this is about possibility and about people staying closer to home. People want to live and retire here and be cared for here in Valemount. So I want to thank you for inviting me. I want to congratulate you. I feel very hopeful when I see this, that projects like this can take place in small communities across rural and northern British Columbia. So congratulations. Thank you for inviting us. And again, thank you for your personal care. It's meant the world to me. So congratulations, and I look forward to digging a bit of dirt with you. So thank you very much for having me today. I really appreciate it.
It is just an accomplishment of what a small, dedicated group of volunteers are able to accomplish in 3 years from concept to groundbreaking. This is really exciting, and on behalf of Council and the Village of Valemount, congratulations. This is just a real treat. Thanks so much.
3, 2, 1.
Woo!
Okay, good.
We're here with MLA Shirley Bond. Shirley, welcome back to Valemount, and we're here for the groundbreaking ceremony for the housing project. Can you tell us why you felt it was important to come today?
Well, first of all, let me say thank you. It's great to be back in the Robson Valley in person. Obviously, I've been working with the mayor and others on a regular basis throughout the last number of months. But let me just begin by saying thank you from a personal perspective for the kindness that's been shown to me over the last number of months. It's meant the world to me. So really glad to be here today to celebrate a very significant accomplishment, and that is the official groundbreaking for the affordable housing units that are going to be built here in Valemount. And I think it's a real testament to the people who have worked so hard on the project to bring this to reality today. So I wanted to come and say congratulations and thank you to that very dedicated team of people. And I'm very excited about the possibilities for the families and individuals who will eventually make their homes here in these affordable housing units.
Mm-hmm. It's a good time for this type of project. Multiple levels of government came together to support it. Why do you think the timing is right for this type of project?
Well, I think we're recognizing whether you live in a community that's large or small, that there's a need for affordable housing. And it's one of the questions that we discuss in Victoria a lot. We hear a lot about shortage of affordable housing in Vancouver, but it exists, that need exists in communities right across British Columbia. So one of the things I'm most pleased about today is that there is a recognition that these kinds of units are important no matter the size of community you live in. And I think the second thing is that this should be really an encouragement to people who get involved in projects, who advocate, who work hard to bring projects like this to small communities. This is a success story. And I wanted to be part of saying thank you and congratulating the team that worked so hard. So I think it's a special day in Valemount as we are going to watch these units being built and thinking about the joy they're going to bring for people who are able to find their homes here.
Right. And I know you've been very supportive about seniors projects and seniors housing and affordable housing over the years. Were you surprised at how this is a multi-level supported project, multiple levels of government, multiple levels of funding? Were you surprised at how quickly it came together?
Well, I'm not, because I think one of the things that governments at all levels are realizing is that there is a significant need for this type of project. And I think it's something that voters, that British Columbians should celebrate, the fact that there are opportunities for people to work together across party lines, across different levels of governments, to make sure that when there's a need, we work together to deliver that. I remember the early conversations about the possibility of this project, and I think that people were excited, they were hopeful, and today this project has been realized. So, I hope this is the kind of collaboration that we continue to see. One of the things I'm very proud of as an MLA is the whole Team Valemount concept, which we have used here for many, many years. When you think about it, we have the MLA, the MP, the First Nations, the regional district representatives, the village, all at a table talking about things, talking about what can we work to advocate for together. So, again, I think this is a great example of how Team Valemount, looking at this from a cross-government perspective, delivers results like this. So, very pleased to be here today, and a hearty congratulations and thank you to everyone who worked so hard to make this happen.
That's great, and I know that you're quite familiar with the other new project that's on the books at a very preliminary stage here, which calls for seniors housing and some more low-income housing, and I know that you've been very supportive of that. So this is a good first step, I think, for us to get some units on the ground, and then it's onwards and upwards to the next big project.
That's one of the things I love about Valemount. They're always looking to the next project, to the next thing that we need to be doing, and my job in that is to be a supporter and advocate, which I'm very proud to do and to continue to do. So you're right, this is a great beginning. There's more work to be done, and I can tell you that I'll be working very hard to be supportive and making sure that the needs are well known in Victoria. That's an important part of this process, so look forward to hopefully being back in Valemount not too long from now to look at the success of that second project.
Great. Well, thank you once again for coming to Valemount.
I'm really happy to be back. Thank you so very much.
Having affordable housing solutions available for those that really need it is truly important to the village. A couple of years ago, we had a housing assessment study completed. Black and white, it's truly needed.
And do you think that, as I asked Shirley as well, I'm going to pose the same question to you, are you surprised at how quickly this project came together?
Not at all. Knowing the folks that were behind the effort, a really small group of dedicated individuals came together as a team. I mean, not just for a new build, but 8 units behind us that are fully rented, and having those housing solutions come to the table.
Right. The team itself has worked really hard. I know the other levels to this is the funding, and I guess that's maybe more of what my question was. We're surprised that the funding came together so quickly for this project.
I've seen other housing projects pick up speed really quickly. Again, it's that determination of that smaller group, working with BC Housing, working with the Columbia Basin Trust, working with the provincial government, working with CMHC. I mean, there's a lot of cogs in this gearbox that really came together quickly.
And so I know that the village is hard at work on a new project. opposite the high school grounds, a large project there which will involve seniors housing and low income housing. How do you feel this is all coming together in terms of housing? Because as you said, there was a big demand for housing. Right now we're in the middle of a strange time with the pipeline workers here taking a lot of housing. But normally, even before that, there was a good need for housing. How do you think it's all coming together now?
We're just getting started. That's it. The sky's the limit in terms of what we have, in terms of vacant lands, the ability to work with developers like Doug on projects that we can all just keep working together for the betterment of our community.
The Valemount Affordable Rental Society is a nonprofit society that has worked very hard to create this project, and we are building a 13-unit affordable housing building with 4 one-bedroom units and 8 two-bedroom units and 1 three-bedroom units, and it's for families and seniors. It's funded by BC Housing, CMHC, Columbia Basin Trust, and we also have received support from the Regional District of Fraser-Fort George and the Village of Valemount.
Great. Just to give people a little bit of background that may not know about your involvement here, the society was formed when, and your first project we're kind of in front of here and beside. Can you give us a little bit of history?
So our society was formed in October 2017, so that's just coming up to 3 years ago. And when we started our society, it was actually to address potential student housing needs. And it turns out that we didn't need the level of student housing that we thought we did, but we certainly do need affordable housing for the general population of Valemount. So we shifted our focus a little bit, and we now have our housing for Valemount, for the residents of Valemount. It's long-term, but we're also open to shorter-term contracts for workers that are coming through that need a place maybe for a month or a couple of months. And then we also are certainly open to anyone that needs a place to live for longer term. So originally we purchased this property, and it used to be the Ramakata Motel. A lot of people still refer to it as the former Ramakata. We have sort of within our own group, we have called it Juniper Square. So we're on Juniper Street, and hence the name. So the first phase of our project was to renovate the 8 units in the old motel. So they were all renovated and updated so that we have bachelor's and 1-bedroom units. So we have 6 bachelor's and 2 1-bedroom units. And then we also have a 3-bedroom house that is also on this property. So that's what we have been renting out over the last just over a year or so. Once the renovations and everything were complete, then we were able to start renting those out to the community. And then while we were kind of overseeing that, we also, with the property came this big space that we started working with consultants and BC Housing, and we have come up with this plan to add another building to the site with the 13 units. So,
when you started the project, I know that there was a housing crunch, very low vacancy rate in Valemount. Now that we're into the pipeline beginning, there's even worse, even lower vacancy rate. And so you think the timing was great for this project. I want to ask you though, it's a multi-level project with multiple partners. Were you surprised? I asked the same question to the mayor and to our MLA. Were you surprised at how quickly the funding came together for this project?
We were, without hesitation, we were. Just a project of this magnitude, $4.27 million, that's a lot of money. And our board of directors consists of basically 4 people. We're all volunteers. We don't have any staff. And we contacted the right people, originally starting out with Columbia Basin Trust and BC Housing, and they were on board right away and willing to give that support, and our consultants have helped us a great deal. They have a lot of experience in this field, and have really held our hands and guided us through some very new territory. It's a huge learning curve. We're still learning so much. But at the end of the day, we're the ones that sign the paperwork and take the risk, essentially. But it's also comes with those risks come wonderful opportunities, and we're very excited about it. Yeah.
Right. Well, we're doing the official groundbreaking today, but obviously behind you can see the foundation's well underway and the building is progressing. What you got started later in the year, but what is the timetable for completion?
We are hoping that everything will be complete by late spring, early summer of 2021. So, it's a very aggressive timeline. So that's approximately a year, hopefully a little bit less than a year. We were hoping to start a little bit sooner in the season, but you can only make so many things happen when you're working with budgets and so many different layers of government and funders and etc. So we're just so thrilled that we were able to break ground before the snow started to fly, and they're moving quickly, and yeah, we're very excited.
Well, for those people who are watching who are already very excited about a project like this, how are you going to handle the actual rentals of it? Will you be putting together some kind of a list, or are you going to wait to consider applicants for this until the project's finished? How's it going to work?
Well, with this new project, it is a little different from our existing housing in that it is subsidized. A good portion of it, the housing itself, is subsidized by BC Housing, which allows it to remain affordable. So it depends on the units. There's a certain percentage of units that the rent will be geared to the income of the person that's renting. There are some that will be deep subsidies for people who need a little bit more support, and then there will be some that will be market rent. So those percentages need to be sort of managed, and one of the ways that we can sort of manage who is going to be put into those units is through the BC Housing Registry. And so we will be part of the registry, and then people will be able to go online and apply that way. But we will also come up with ways that if people aren't, savvy with going online or don't have access to the internet or a computer, that we will have other ways that they'll be able to fill out an application form and submit it.
Great. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yeah.
Well, congratulations on this exciting project, and best of luck for the future.
Thank you very much.